North American Indians being forced off land. So this is the work that I want to do to give back to these people. And this company has a fabulous, good business plan where we harvest reverently and sustainably. Well, they do, and we're in partnership with them. And we're giving them a fair trade price that's 4 times what typically is given for a hectare of acreage. They typically would get $400 for chopping the trees down, $200 for putting cattle on there, $60 for maybe goats. We're actually giving them $2,400 a hectare for harvested land, harvested herbs, which are taken 4 feet from the ground level. The plants are sung to, they're given safe passage to be with us, and hence, I don't know any other place you're going to get the plant wisdoms, the spirits, and you can definitely taste the liveness of these products.
So you've brought in a document here, actually a preservation deed, with you today. Can you explain what this is?
This is actually part of being an ambassador. You know, plants are really conscious beings, and plant spirits are in the network. Birds, everybody. It's sort of like they find out when you're in their court. And this is a preservation deed that says that an acre of Peruvian rainforest has been preserved with my name on it. And I mean, I can't go down there and construct anything, but it's showing the dedication of my sharing the plants. And actually, anybody can get a deed like this by just sharing the plants with their family. I like to say low-hanging fruit. You know, I have 150 relatives in my local party, right? So everybody got on products and was in sharing, and that got me a rainforest deed. So you can just pick your low-hanging fruit, your friends, and turn them on to the rainforest products. The best thing I like to say is for the last 7 years, I've been going, Roberta, to Hopi and sharing the rainforest plants, the tea and the fiber. These products together are the plants that cleanse the bowel and detox the brain. And in Hopi, you know, we're struggling with diabetes, alcoholism, all the basics. But I have seen grandmothers with the black ankles, you know, from the legs gone lymphatically bad, and drinking the tea reverse that, and my aunties are there showing off with their little capris. Look at my sexy legs. And I've seen things that you would expect doctors and pharmaceuticals to do, and it's actually not working because they're not really draining the harsh pharmaceuticals. So once the lymphs get draining, and this is great for that, they can stay on the meds if they're on meds pharmaceutically, but it actually sheds off the harsh side effects because it's not sustained in the body.
Yeah, that was another thing that I was hoping that you were going to mention is the relationship and stuff as far as the Western medicine is concerned versus, you know, rainforest medicinal properties such as what you've brought here. Here's
a way, Roberta, to live harmoniously with 200,000 botanicals and inhabitants. The pharmaceutical industry, from what I understand, only knows 2% of the forest. This is the January 2007 edition of National Geographic. In it, it says that by the time you finish reading this article on deforestation in the Brazilian rainforest, that 200 football fields will have been devastated. Now, pharmaceuticals use 2% of the forest. We really don't even know the potential of the plants medicinally there. So you figure they're doing quite a bit of synthetic creation with them. So that in someone's body, if it's not being drained out, it's laying in the interstitial tissue, which is the tissue that wraps the muscles and the organs. You know, it's not quite the bloodstream. It's just beyond that. It's where everything gets absorbed into. And if you've got toxicity in there from pharmaceuticals or just our food sources here, This is a great tea that can actually go in wild, get into that interstitial tissue level, and begin to just detox that out. And in 2 weeks, you know, you might in the second week have a chalky tongue, a little bit of a headache, but by the third and fourth week, you're going to notice an optimal, and your joints, everything, you're going to feel so much better.
Right. Yeah, in just reading, you know, prescriptions and all of the side effects that each prescription has.
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing we are entertained by watching some of those television ads. I noticed they certainly always end up with a contraindication with possible death. You know,
yeah, weight loss products, for instance.
Just shocking to me that people would entertain themselves by, I don't know who would say yes, I'll do it. It's just surprising to me. But I grew up with herbs. Grandparents ran to the cabinets. We had barks, we've had teas, we've had minerals right out of the soil, put right on the belly for a tummy ache, chew on a piece of wood. I'm just not accustomed to the pharmaceuticals, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, majority of people are, and that's, you know, they always have a questioning as far as a tea or... but it's
true.
where people are going back to. People are going back to those methods.
Exactly. That's why I really want to introduce people, and I'll go ahead and give you a sampling. When I was in Hopi, and by the way, I worked with Hopi for 6 years to bring a clinic, a Hopi clinic, with natives to people, you know, natives to natives, not governmental exactly. And we just poured herbs. They harvested their local chaparrals and other barks and things, but we brought in the rainforest plants, and the Hopi medicine man told me that he didn't want me to use a spoon like I was doing to get this. He said, no, the spirit of these plants, you want to open the old Ayurvedic way. So I love going into Hopi villages and pouring the fiber cup to cup and just blending up this very beautiful, it's like a typical fiber, but it isn't, because it's infused with quite a bit of rainforest plant. And so I'm going to sample you on this, Roberta. This is very beautiful and earthy.
Oh, thank you.
But just taste this and see what you think. This is the rainforest fibers on, and
like an initial, like minty.
it has a blooming mint flavor to kind of pull away from some of the barkiness of it. But once your palate gets adjusted to this, you can tell when the shift from acidity to alkalinity takes place. It's fabulous. I can't go without this. This is the whatever it's called, the juice that makes it all work. So tea and fiber together is the beginning to cleansing and nourishing the body's systems. And with that, a lot of things knock off, a lot of itises and chronics, and you can clean up a lot of your body that way.
This is great. So you've also brought chocolates.
Ah.
Oh,
Can I sample you on one of these dark organic?
I was waiting for that.
This is chocamaca.
Okay.
Chocamaca is an incredible blend of cacao, which is the nut of the chocolate, dark chocolate, and also maca, which is a really beautiful root that's strong up in the high mountains. So what I like to do with these little green balls, you have to take off this cellophane wrapper.
Okay.
But I like to just give it a 1-minute meditation. So if you would just drop that into your palate there and just hold it in your mouth for 1 minute. And just let this beautiful food begin to melt. And you'll taste a variety of different nutrients that are in it. We have aqua nutrients in it. I have suma, which is for energy, marijuana, which is a nervous system herb. It just relaxes you. And then just together, synergistically with the power of the maca and the cacao, it's fabulous. So,
For doing an interview with a... So I'm going to try this and let it sit there. So what else do we have in here?